Like you said, this is a process. Life is a journey. It's a process, but if the process never starts, nothing changes.
That was preach right there. I mean, I know that a lot of people are some people are very excited about going into 2018. I've heard the term, I can't wait for 2017 to be over to go into 2018. 2018 is going to be my year. And I think that we should be encouraged that every year should be our year.
Yes.
I think that with life, we're met with ups, we're met with downs, we're met with ins and outs. But you take those as tests.
Yes.
So they can turn into your testimony, as well as when you're coming into the new year, just coming into something that's going to allow you to breathe life or breathe purpose or breathe movement. So what are some quick spiritual tips that you can give them about some things that they can do to maybe start on that positive journey and to looking into some things that they can tack on their list for New Year's resolutions?
I think what happens is, and again, I agree 100% with you, that this new year we have to process within our mind, even today as we sit here, it's one day at a time. AANA, that's the mantra of one day at a time. And I truly agree with that, that every day we have to gird ourselves up, the Bible tells us, put on the armor of God. And you do. And listen, when I keep saying, I'm talking about spirituality here and spiritual things, without these guidelines, without attaining to these things, what do we really have? We just have ourself, and that's a lonely place to be. But I would tell people going into this new year, yes, learn from 2017, but get excited and make, I don't want to say even a resolution, but make a promise to yourself and God that one day at a time I'm going to do introspection. Where am I falling short? What do I have to do? Is it more education? Is it reaching out to a counselor? Is it, there's so many families out there, even in marriages, that are struggling today. And, if we just humble ourselves enough to say, we need to sit down with somebody to listen to us today. But again, it comes back, the onus is on us for so many of the issues that we find ourselves in. But there's no denying that some of these issues are monumental. But again, going into this new year, I want people to get excited about today. What could change today? It's baby steps. The Bible talks about as babies, we desire milk. In the process, maturing life within the Lord is soon you will desire the meat. It's a maturing process. Nothing changes overnight other than within us if we reach out to the Lord. But then that process is laid before us of one day at a time. Count my blessings today. So many people forget that they even have blessings. And again, I'm not minimizing people's issues because I understand them because I lived them myself. But again, without making decisions for change, nothing will change.
Wow. That is so amazing that you said that. Say that one more time.
Without making changes, there will be no change.
There will be no change. If you're not making no changes, there will be no change. You have to step out in faith, close your eyes, and just step right out into the deep.
That's right.
And know that the Lord has you, that He has your best interest at heart,
That's right.
your best interest at mind, and that He will not let you fall.
No, and see, there will still be trials and tribulations. There will be hard seasons of life, We're all in different seasons of life. But understanding that to walk through these seasons of life by ourselves is a lonely, scary process. But to walk through the seasons of life and trials and tribulations, people have said trials and tribulations are to make us better, not bitter. Well, it's hard to understand that. But again, that's part of that learning, maturing process of seeing things differently in a different light.
That is amazing. I switching gears here, talking about the youth. Our youth are bombarded with so many things, with television and media and phones and different things like that. Now, their change is completely different from an adult's change. You know, we have the things that are on our list and we have to do in our responsibilities. But our youth, going into every year, it seems like our youth is becoming lost.
Well,
And so
I think the responsibility there, and it's not a light responsibility, but within our own homes as parents, the years that we have is modeling wise decision making within our home, letting them see the reality of choices. Choices were not made in godly wisdom and the consequence that comes from them. And again, there's no family unit that's ever been perfect and never will be. But again, for our youth today, and I tell them this, you know, sin is very progressive. And sin is sin is sin. You know, a drink is a drink, a drug is a drug. Well, sin is sin also, and there's a consequence for it. And it's hard in adolescence. Your mind, your body are going 1,000 miles an hour. You're growing. You're being taught this from here. You're being taught that over here. And it's hard to discern, you know, what is wise. But that to me comes back to, for us as parents and loved ones, is bathing our kids in prayer, because they're going to reach an age of accountability. And I believe today it seems as if it's 13, 14 years old that, you know what, we can't make our choices for our kids. So it's so important that in their younger years that we are modeling, you know, consistency in our lives to them. But getting to the point of adolescence today, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, we have to trust that they understand the cost in some of the choices that they're going to make. And some of those choices and consequences can be very, very powerful. So again, I go back to, you know, prayer for our kids, for those who are hurting today.
And even just thinking about our children, a lot of people, just something as simple as coming to the table to eat a meal, and something as simple as praying for your children, a lot of people get away from, and they just kind of let their kids scoot under the carpet. And I think some of the New Year's resolutions is, let's bring traditions of coming together as a family back to the table. Let's start praying for our kids more, start giving them the time and the attention that they're seeking, because a lot of things that are going on with our youth today is because they're not getting that attention.
Amen. No, I agree with that completely. And I believe, again, that's the process of the life that we're living today. And it's not going to, I don't believe, get any easier or any better. And that's why I think each and every day going into this new year, we have to proactively, again, I use that word, look within ourselves and see what we can do to make a difference today.
Absolutely. Well, can you do me one favor? Can you just give me some resources that our viewers and listeners can maybe attach themselves to into working on resolutions for the new year?
Well, I think, again, it goes back to, first of all, recognizing where we're exempt ourselves, where we're hurting, where we would like to see something different within our own life. And then recognizing that, but then being proactive and acting upon it. I believe a lot of issues can be dealt with at a local church. You know, there's many great churches in this Tioga County area. Find a church that fits you, that feels good to you, that the Word of God is preached. People will reach out to you there. People will be good to you, and you know, I think we need to align ourselves with good people. Going into the new year, and if it's a health issue, you know what? Again, you know, you've got to pinpoint problems, and if we're not eating well, we're not exercising, we're not going to feel good either. So if it's that, if you see that within yourself, then be proactive and go out and one day at a time do something about that. If it's a mental illness, if you're really depressed, clinically depressed, you know what? Reach out to the Mental Health Association of Broome County. You know, there's many options out there, but we just have to decide that we're not going to put up with the norm anymore. You know, it's delusional to think that anything will change if nothing changes.
Wow. And I just want to give just a, excuse me, just a brief word of encouragement to all of our listeners that we are praying for you in this new year. We have had a wonderful year with Encounter with Broome County Council of Churches, and we are so grateful for your viewership and sticking with us and viewing us at 5:30 in the morning, getting up with us, and just knowing that everything that we're doing is to send love, to send encouragement, to send hope, to send restoration, to send peace to you on a weekly basis.
Amen.
And we just thank you so much for hanging with us this year and just being a part of our experiences and allowing us to come into your homes and bring different guests on. And so just a final word. Thank you, Pastor Tom O'Connor, for just coming in and just sharing words of encouragement with our listeners, and knowing that their new year will be a great year, and that they have so much more to look forward to, and such promises that the Lord has for them.
Yes.
And
Yesterday is over.
Yesterday is over.
Today is the day that matters.
Yes. So we are going to celebrate that and know that in this new year, we are rooting for you, we are praying for you, and we are encouraging you to move forward in this life and in purpose and in love. God bless you guys, and have a wonderful, happy new year. Thank you so much.
Amen.
Cut it out.